matches have we had today at this stage? Oh my word, it has been a day of Call of Duty Mobile, and things are only going to get better. I like the song, but we'll not try and sing it. Standoff coming up. 250 points for the win in Hardpoint, as you all know. But if you don't, thank you for joining us for the very first time here in the Swiss stage of Call of Duty Mobile Champs. Very, very excited, as always, to get into a standoff. See which way this one's going to go. This should be an absolute banger. Two teams who are really fighting it out for those top placements. They're the ones who want to upset the apple cart, so to speak, of some of these top teams, and they have the potential to do it. Both teams growing into this tournament, but getting to this 2-in-1 stage in a bit of a different way. Stalwart only losing their first game very, very recently up against Elevate Galoris. I mean, we've just seen them get themselves to this stage. So for Stalwart, they're coming in from the advantageous position, you want to say. They've been playing very well all weekend long.
Yeah, Stalwart, again, I want to give them a lot of love, because albeit they did lose to Elevate, I think that's kind of par for the course. And the map scores for that series were actually relatively, I think it was like 250 to 200, and I want to say it was like 7-4, 7-5, something like that. So it was a really close couple of games there. So don't count out Stalwart as we get in towards this one. But Galoris have been on fire today and are now looking for yet another win under their belt. Towards this one, P1 is always a mixy one. Stalwart looking to try and brute force their way through. Only one player still hanging about will be Fokke, and that's probably the player you want if it's your Galoris, because that's your Oman player.
Galoris, I mean, I wonder if it does play into the theory of the fact that they've been up on that main stage so much today already. I think it's just kind of falling kindly. I mean, I'm a big Galoris fan, in fairness, so the fact that we've gone to just cast 3 of their games, I'm actually on board with it. But at the same time, having that, I want to say, comfortability on that stage will definitely help them up in a game against Stalwart, which they are now find themselves behind in as we head over towards P2. Galoris are the first ones here, though, and an point that you can find some decent time on, and with those kills, that will help things set up just that a little bit nicer. Bit of a rogue spawn coming through for AG. He's going to get red by Henry Cat, so fair play. Henry's also looking to double up here over by red. I don't think he's going to catch Clove, and they will not. So an opportunity now for Stalwart to knock at the door, especially as Skurd is able to double up. Galoris starting to be, like I say, towards the void. There's the spawn out from Fokke as well. Kills from Galoris, though, looking pretty good. I mean, Stalwart, they're trying to siege in towards this hard point. They can't get it done. And I think if you're FDX here, you've kind of just got to settle for a contest position while the rest of their squad knocks at the door. I mean, both these two teams playing at Mobile Masters. We've seen Galoris go into that grand final. Of course, Stalwart were 4th place, I believe, as well. So both these two teams have matched up similar events as this. Of course, not quite Call of Duty Mobile Champs, but Masters was a testament to Galoris and how far they had come and how good it is and the rest of the squad alongside of him. They found themselves with an ever so slight lead as we head over towards Grandma's, over towards P3. Stalwart will be the first ones here, but there is very much enemies behind the lines in terms of where the Galoris boys are positioned. But a decent setup here for Stalwart. They could do find some good time. Ever so slightly behind.
Yeah, Galoris starting to earn some utility here. They're going to need it if they want to break this Grandma's hard point against Stalwart. Stalwart now going to start to bring out here a couple of operators early on. Skurd Sparrow will be short-lived, though, so you really need to find some more value here if you're Clove for the Claw, and he's doing exactly that. Switching out towards the middle of the map here, looking for some more kills. The Claw, though, will now be away, so he needs to get it done with the R9 and only get to hit marker there against Fokke, and will survive. Galoris now looking for more kills. They've got equalized up their own. Fokke with it finds a couple of kills. Now the rest of this hill should be Galoris' time.
That's a really nice break to come on through for them, one that was needed. It should be pretty much a dead even game as we head over towards P4. Galoris trying to get a little bit of control of this fight over towards the top side. So important. It's going to be won by the side of Stalwart. And we're starting to get a little bit of control over towards this hill. Ever so slight lead for them. Starting to find the kills where they need to, though. This could be potentially a very good hold.
Needs to be. If you're Stalwart, you've got 3 operators ready to go. I wouldn't be shy of using them here. You probably want to get some cleaner gunfights, though, and somehow, some way, players are starting to survive, but Shut Up is just firing down range. Oh, War Machine! 4 for Shut Up, that streaks as well, but those close spawns are still in for Galoris. Your job is far from done.
Holding it down all on his own. 5 kills, ringing through ever so quickly, and these are the kind of moments that can start to swing a game. EG with the equalizer finds nothing, no impossible, just about wangle his War Machine through the front door. Global answer back though with one of his own, and the Purifier comes out. So both these two teams investing plenty. And in the end, it's going to be Stalwart Esports who are still in control of the hill. 20 seconds to go. They're picking up that scrap time. And the rotation over towards New is starting to come on through, but Stalwart will exit that first rotation of hills with themselves a very decent lead, fully up the back of those operator usage over towards that last hill.
Yeah, I said don't be shy, right, about using what you've got here on this hard point because it'll give you a solid win in the game. That's exactly what happened here for Stalwart Esports. I particularly like that play towards the end of it, right, where you've got a Predator missile, you use it to get a Purifier out towards Crate's side and create some space for Stalwart to get that scrap time. So, 60-point deficit now for Galoris. You need to have a better go of things on this second set, and you're already starting to fall foul to Skurd. 3 in a row for him now. Now make it 4. Sparrow, Sparrow out, looking for more kills. Channel is in a Lara Croft. He's going to find a few kills there. Galoris just trying to find their way in towards this hard point, but Stalwart are making it so difficult.
It is a scrappy game, one that we expected, but Stalwart Esports are just about getting the better of these trades. Galoris, it felt like they came out very, very quick. But since we really headed over towards P3, they've been limping around the map, but that's maybe a little bit better now as Mihawk will start to find a few more. Bodies are being dropped, but Stalwart Esports still will continue to soak up time. It always feels like even a couple of gunfights don't go their way. They're still in the point, they're still getting points.
Yeah, you're fine with this if you're Galoris, right? I know you're 50 points down right now, but there's an opportunity to get back in this game with a solid P2 hold. And if you can get the scrap time, that's going to be nice. But now you're just having to settle for the former of those two things. Shadow trying to find his way behind enemy lines. He's going to get caught by Henry Cat. But Henry Cat's job is far from done. He's trying to find his way through multiple Stalwart players. They're assaulting him through this barn side. That's definitely the way the Stalwart want to make their way in towards the point. You need to double up on the player who's going to drop down. Nice kills coming through from Fokke, and that kind of aggression's necessary, but Stalwart have still found their way through.
It just seems to always be the way. It doesn't matter where the kills are going. Stalwart are finding themselves in the right positions, and this is going to be the right position with the War Machine as well. Just raining it down inside the point. You've got somebody covering behind on the window. It is no problem whatsoever for Stalwart Esports. There is still 30 seconds to play for here. They won't quite break it, but they'll be touching 200 if they can lock this down. Yeah, and if you're Galoris in this position, you kind of have to go for this. You can't really afford to give this 20 seconds away. So you're kind of getting riskier and riskier as we go further in towards this hard point. One last hit for Galoris, kind of goes all right. Last player, Mihawk, down for the count. And as that kill comes through, Stalwart get the scrap time, now a 100-point lead over Galoris. Galoris, you need to hold Grandmas, and you don't have that much utility to get it done with. Fokke and Pavzera with an operator apiece. Henry Cat getting kills in the middle of the map, maybe they don't need them. Locking it down eventually. Stalwart Esports really starting to flex their muscles here, though. The last few hills has just been one-way traffic. Galoris, though, their struggle has been hardpoint all day long, which with some of the Slayers you have on that team, you would expect to be a little bit different. But I think you're seeing some examples of their deficiencies in some sort of way, where Stalwart Esports aren't finding the kills, but they are finding time. It's not all about the kills, but it is if you are FDX. Yeah, now with the Purifier, you can only find one. Fokke actually answering back with the equalizer, so the investment comes in necessarily from Galoris, but effectively as well. 30 seconds to play for here. They find these 30 seconds, they are back into this game.
Yeah, shout out to Fokke, by the way. He's got 32 kills at this point in time. I imagine he's also got a wealth of hill time to his name too. He's been pivotal to keeping Galoris in the conversation here on standoff hard.
There we go.
And needs to continue to be so. Predator missile coming down. I'm not sure you actually need it with all the kills in the feed here for Galoris, but regardless, they will find two as players off the spawn that might well give Galoris an opportunity to rotate towards new. One player trying to be sneaky. Henry Cat's been found out though. That's a good read and a huge one for Clove.
But it is actually going to give Galoris a little bit more of an opportunity to find themselves in a good spot to try and find that push through. The distraction at worst gives them time. But this is where Stalwart really started to stretch their legs in the previous rotation of hills. Are they going to be able to do this again? It was all about the operator usage, but this time around it's going to be Pavzera. He gets it through the front door. It's the War Machine. It's the big boy, but does not find it. Stalwart just about locking this one down. Shadow will manage to find 3 in the feed. Fokke will find 2, though. The aggression starting to come through from Galoris, who seems to be in a really good spot here. Looks shit now with the gravity vortex gun. Finds it through the front door. Finds something. There's the break for Galoris. 35 seconds to play for here. At the final hill of the second rotation, and they could be within spitting distance of Stalwart.
Yeah, that was a massive two-piece coming through from Fokke to get control of that top side. It enables the rest of the squad to getting through Crate. So Galoris now, as you said, an opportunity to really start to close the distance between themselves and Stalwart, but they've got to win the gunfight. They're actually having to be forced outside of the hard point, and they've lost those respective engagements. So Stalwart, an opportunity now for the back 15 seconds of time. FDX is just going to lay patiently and wait for the help from the teammates. There's no real reason to put yourself in a disadvantageous spot. Mihawk will come down and remove that player from the point, but Stalwart, I mean, you're happy to take that last 15 seconds of time. That's pivotal as you reach that 250 point.
That's a 30-second swing. If Galoris get a hold of that, they are so much quicker. Oh, so much closer, quicker. Yeah, okay, they might be fast. I'm not too sure what relevance that has as we head over towards P1 again, though. StarWar Esports very much still in control, and those kills coming in from Scared and AG will help that out just that little bit more. Lucasjin will find 3, but again, StarWar Esports just seem to be in the right place at the right time. They're locking it down. They are 20 seconds away.
But a missile from Mihawk, what will it get? It will find 1. AG wasn't dealt with though, and they will produce a double here for StarWar Esports. Galorus will be in, but for StarWar, you've got a wealth of options to close this one out. Mihawk forced to use the claw to try and survive, and here comes the flank from Shadup. StarWar finding all of the kills, close for the double. StarWar now looking to close this game.
They can close it out here over towards P1. Galorus have to find their way in. They have to invest. They have to throw the kitchen sink at this one because you are falling by the wayside. It's one of the best teams in the game right now. You're going to find the kills. You maybe going to stop them winning here at P1, but P2 rotation is in and StarWar to that.
Yep. Galorus have to go for this one. We need some kind of hero play from Galorus. It has to be had. Who will it be? Henry Cat down for the count. Now Mihawk, next one in towards the point, but all the kills are being made here by StarWar Esports. They can finish it here.
P2 control is very much in the hands of StarWar right now. They are 11 seconds away. It's one more throw of the dice in what has been a fantastic map number 1 between these two teams. And Galorus, they need to make it count. They haven't been able to. StarWar gun finds nothing but 1, but Scared finds 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. StarWar Esports lock this one down. Map number 1. They're teasing me now. They should be going their way and will do so. Oh my god, guys, lock it in. Finish the game. There it is. StarWar Esports find map number 1. Do continue
to win it out there, but it was that in slow was the thing that caused them issues in the end. I will say as well, I think just in the map, and we'll kind of see here in the final stat lines, Fokke was the one that was going off for Galorus, right? We didn't really see Lucasjin until the late game actually turn up, and I think that was the biggest problem for them. I know very often we had the conversation about Galorus being like, look, if Lucasjin turns up, they're probably going to do really well, but it does really feel that might have been the case there in that early game here for Galorus.
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword for them, isn't it? It's brilliant to have him when he is able to do it, but if he doesn't, then that's one of their biggest weapons. If he isn't performing to ridiculous levels, which we do expect, I mean, look, he still dropped like 43. It's not bad. And actually, like, one thing I'm curious to look at here, we'll quickly work it out. In terms of the actual, I'll quickly work it out. Probably search and destroy takeoff incoming.
That's good, mate.
I'm pretty sure catering actually starts after this game finishes. Yeah, well, it would be rude not to, wouldn't it? Takeoff incoming now for these two teams versus 7 and search and destroy, but you must indeed find that 2-round advantage. Here we go. Galorus have been sensational on this map, not even just specifically as a team, just today. So let's see if they can continue that form here up against StarWar, who are probably the hardest opposition they would have faced all day long. Let's see how it goes down.
Yep, StarWar, difficult opponent for sure. I wonder whether they would have looked at what Galorus has been doing on takeoff, search and destroy and find a way to adapt to it early on. It's aggression towards A right off the rip here.
Oh, that's fine.
And they're getting right into the mix there. Henry Cat is able to take advantage of that all day long. 3 kills? Why not?
That's the kind of way that you want to start these games with Galorus. I think, you know, it really has been their defensive side of things. Looked fantastic, I think, if I'm correct. Was it actually? Yeah, okay, yeah, it was the defensive side. Look, it all kind of amalgamates into one at some stage. We casted a lot of games today, okay?
It's fine. Yeah, and we've casted a lot of takeoff, search and destroy today. We've also casted a lot of Summit Hardpoint today.
That's a lot of Galorus, actually.
Yeah, we have. I mean, I'm not going to complain as a Galorus fan. Not a bias caster, of course, but as a Galorus fan. Yeah,
gotta pick somebody because it's gonna be Europe, isn't it?
Oh, get that one,
guys! This
on Twitter right now.
It's a Christmas joke. Only the Europeans will get that reference as well. Here we are, Galorus. One to the good and advancing forward. Mihawk kind of playing that position that on an island, you're trying to shut it down. You quite often do see Lucasjin come over to help him over towards this B side. He is in a completely different spot now. Throwing curveballs over towards StarWar, who are playing a slow and steady game, very different to round number 1.
Yeah, I think they are waiting for a player like Fokke to get over aggressive here. Instead, Shutup's going to give too much of himself away to Lucasjin. And that's now man advantage here to Galorus. Options starting to run out here for StarWar. They've got to find a way to get towards B. You have to feel big gunfight to take if you can take Mihawk out of the play. Elsewhere, Henry Cat has found that kill, and Mihawk's going to win that opening gunfight. You needed that cleanly, because now StarWar find themselves in 2 versus 4 here, not a lot of options.
Galorus continuing their truly good form. Clove in it. Well, a position where you can maybe find something. He's going to find a free kill. Still quick scopes him. But surely the second one is just not what he's going to expect. This should be a free one here now for the side of Pocket, but he absolutely fumbles it, and Clove punishes. Now down to a 2 versus 2. And is he going to be able to hit the shots? He does. Clove maybe just overheats a second too early. And now Scared left in the 1 versus 2. Lucas deals with him, and Galoris not quite running away with this one, but find themselves 2 to the good very, very quickly.
Man, that was an opportunity there for Stalwart to actually kind of steal that round away. They were very close. A little bit of timing on their side. Maybe we'd be looking at a 1-1 game, but we aren't. Galoris now 2-0 up. Early heroics here from Henry Cap on 5 in a row. Or 5 kills, excuse me. He's getting more aggressive here right off the start. Look at this look coming out from Galoris. Again, it's a different look, but it is going to be read by Clove, who will double up. Trade is good from Lucas in here, so Galoris will survive, but they are a man down.
Scared is actually going to find a way through here. Hen is going to be aware of it, though. 3 versus 3 now. EG, if he finds the push through, he maybe finds the cut that he needs to, but maybe expecting the aggression to come from Galoris. The map kind of split in a weird kind of way. See Hen starting to make the move onto towards the flank. Hen will get taken down by Shut Up. Now this is a really big gunfight. It's actually going to be Pabzera. He's going to be able to find it 2 versus 2.
Yeah, now you're going to be questioning yourselves, aren't you, with Pabzera in that position. Where can you go off the post farm? Absolutely nowhere, says Pabzera. AG, now in a 1 versus 2. He's going to get caught from the side. Lucas in to take them down. Galoris, once again, starting to look so hot here on Takeoff Search and Destroy.
It's a good look in Search and Destroy right now for Galoris. Looking to try and continue it as well. Popping off on the main stage once more. Arsenal control feels like it's beckoning. Plenty of Search and Destroy still to be played. Defensive side working out for Galoris. FTX is going to find another first blood for Stalwart. They found one in the previous round. They found another here, but immediately answered back. The sniping presence from Galoris seems to be something that Stalwart are really struggling with.
I'm not surprised when you're facing down Lucasin on the other side of it, right? Yeah. It's so difficult. Galoris, though, still only in a 4 versus 4 here. Stalwart do have options. They don't have anybody to face off against inside the lounge. Galoris instead opting for full launch center control. So A isn't really an option here for Stalwart, and so the question becomes how quickly do they actually realize that? I think they just kind of want another kill before making some kind of commitment towards B.
Everyone takes a breath. These rounds haven't necessarily been fast and furious outside of the first.
Lost the bomb.
Both teams taking their time, but maybe too long. If you're Stalwart, now find yourselves in a 4v2 situation, and it's not in your favor. Bomb's nowhere to be seen. You're 3-0 down. Galoris are cruising here in Search and Destroy.
To be honest, that wasn't necessarily the wrong play call from Stalwart. They just ended up losing the gunfights. Shut Up. Only 1 kill to his name so far in this Search and Destroy. A 1 versus 4 would pentuple that, but that's not going to happen. Pen's going to take him down. And yeah, I mean, as I said, mate, it wasn't the worst play call in the world for Stalwart. They did the right thing. It's just Galoris gunned them.
They're not missing a beat yet. In Search and Destroy. 4 to the good now.
They have the bomb.
And they are really testing everybody on this map. Takeoff is going to be coming, I feel like it's going to be bannable every single time the Galoris are going to get themselves in the bracket. Presumably they do get there. I'd imagine they will. They're looking seriously scary in this game mode. Then tighten up on the Search and on the hard point, then all of a sudden things are looking very, very good. If you're a Galoris fan, they found a couple of kills here in this round. It's now a 4 versus 0, make it a 3 versus 3 in this round, as Clove will find one to answer back. An opportunity for Stalwart to maybe get themselves on the board, but Lucashin just does not miss those shots. Repositions Clove now in extreme danger, but now a 2 versus 2, doable for Stalwart.
Oh, looks away at the wrong time. That's unfortunate there for Lucasin. He would have really wanted that gunfight. Help Fokke out a little bit. Of course, Fokke, the R9 player, is going to grab that sniper rifle off the ground. Now looking for the pre-fire. Clove runs right into his line of sight, and you don't quite expect Fokke with the Tundra. Galoris continue to be flawless in this Search and Destroy, and no matter what adaptation Stalwart make, it's not good enough.
God damn.
He has the bomb.
Galoris are sweeping them here. Stalwart, I mean, Clove's got 6 kills to his name. They haven't got a round yet. They're asking, somebody give me a hand here. I'm already dead. Rocky will find it to open things up. Galoris looking for the perfect sweep, just feeling absolutely delusionally confident. Funky pushing through. Nelly finds another. Scared wants a back of one of his own, but again, for what feels like every single round. Stalwart have got their backs against the wall. They find one at Luxin, they will eliminate him, making things easier, but again, the numbers are just not on their side.
That's the first time we've seen the Poke that I promised you guys before we got into the start of this game. That aggression on defense. What a time for it to show up. Scared now, 1 versus 3. At the very least, he doesn't have to go on a bomb retrieval mission, but you will have to go headfirst into Mihawk. Oh my goodness me. Galorus wiping the floor with Stalwart here on Search and Destroy. I got a feeling, Ton, that Takeoff Search and Destroy might be a hard veto against Galorus.
Oh, it's gone. That is the problem. It's working out well for them, but I'll be damned if they're playing. If I'm the coaches on the other team, this is not seeing the light of day over the rest of the weekend. Not a chance. Mihawk now positioning himself as we heading towards the attacking side. Stalwart, though, are you a really good defensive team? You're going to have to be. Color 6 to the good. They need one single attacking round here out of the next 5, and they will have it. There's another first blood towards them. They just seem to be moving like water. So fluid on this one. Oh, Galorus and Stalwart do not have an answer.
They just seem so stuck, right? They've lost a player already. What do? You don't actually know where this bomb is going at this point. Yeah, Galorus are just throwing so many different looks at them. You have no idea how to handle this. And you just have no choice but to wait. No choice but to wait for some kind of error from Galorus. I don't know if it's going to come. You find one more frag. If you're a Galorus, you 7-0 Stalwart, but that's not going to happen. Good trades coming through from Shut Up and Clove. Numbers now in their favor. That bomb doesn't go down yet.
Oh my goodness. Luxin hits one, he'll likely hit the second, does he? Oh, he doesn't quite get it on the Clove. He will find that kill, and this is looking more like what Stalwart esports need to see. They get themselves on the board. Those defensive rounds have reigned supreme. They find themselves, they're not going to get 7-0, which is always a good thing. They're still really in a tough spot, though. Well, you need another 7 rounds in a row if you want to win it in that fashion, at least, anyway.
This would be a phenomenal comeback if Stalwart were able to make it happen. Oh, what a jump shot off the rip! Lucasson eliminates FTX, and now Shut Up as well. See you later, buddy. Stalwart now 3 versus 5, and they are starting to feel the oppression of Lucasson.
Pabzra finds one to add to the tally as well. Lucasson, doesn't matter what gun he's going to hold up, although no, apparently it does. Scared will find a hold of that one. Looked like the gunfight was going to go his way, but other pieces going to be picked up by Mihawk, absolutely. And 3 versus 1, Scared is left on his own. The S&D is done. Rubber stamp that one. Stalwart esports have just been bodied across Takeoff. And Galorus one.
Didn't really look that early on, right? You were like, there's a really thick back. I think it's like the size of every single Game of Thrones book put together. There's not that many of them because he won't write them, but that's not the point.
I was going to let you explain yourself further, but it's all right, man. We don't need to go that deep. But yeah, irrelevant. Look, it seems that the playbook is there for Galorus, and I think their problem is, I say it's a problem. Maybe there are maps they are better at, but Takeoff is making it through for them, and it is working wonderfully. But have you shown a hand too early in this competition?
Maybe.
That's the thing. You need to get through Swiss through any way.
And you're just like, well, I mean, or whatever. Because I was talking variety.
Great way in map number 1. He's kind of but
yeah, so this for Arsenal, that one of control.
Then when that becomes an auto veto, you then fall in the trap of having to play the other maps that other teams are good at. Like that is the curse of having a map that you really don't want to play. You still have to play maps that other teams are really good at.
Yep, that's the conversation point again. You cannot veto for yourselves at this stage of the tour to decide here between Stalwart, who will be booking themselves a place in bracket play. A reminder that both of these two teams are 2-1 right now, so winning this map will mean a place in tomorrow's play.
Well, here we go. You want to make sure you get in as early as possible in a map number 3 win for either one of these two teams will, well, not quite as early as it could have been, but 1 loss is not a bad one to take into the bracket play. Opening salvo towards B does work up at the side of Galorus. They will try to find something over towards that side, but is it a red herring in the sense of that they may well just push over towards the safe side. Stalwart ready for it. Not quite ready enough. Lucasson, fuck it. Will find their way in. Air control is there. Looking to try and lock this one down as early as possible.
Early aggression here from Stalwart. Okay. Trying to get control of A. I think Stewart might have just chalked this one there. Last hope would be that flanking play from Clove. He has picked up Mihawk here, so this might give them an opportunity, a good look at capturing A, but they've got to get control of it now because that second tick already through. As you said, the numbers in favor, but it doesn't matter when you've got Focky on the other side, who will pick up a double. That late flank from Clove will ensure that A does not go by the wayside. But Galoris, they've got designs on B.
Lukashin uses this Tundra in ways that others just can't. It was mainly the objective here from Galoris, but as soon as they lost that control, they haven't concentrated too many efforts over towards this side. Sent one player in towards it, and okay, he will eventually get taken down. The trade does come through. So for all that, Galoris have had some map presence across the board. They've now entirely lost the stall, but they've done fantastically here on the defense. They can now push that defensive line as far up as it has been. And now becomes a little bit more difficult. Vision reads that, doesn't read that though. Clove in behind for the trade. Stalwart Esports in a good position, but behind on lives.
Yep. Only 30 seconds left to go here in this round as well. So Galoris only got a couple of good looks, and that's a big fight, as you said. Skirt down for the count. But once again, Stewart have backup plans. AG was in wait inside the window. He will double up. Lukesin with a close range gun battle with the Tundra will get it done. But AG was able to find that triple. You need these up-close and personal snipes. FTX can't land one on towards Lukesin. Finally will get it done. That's the back half of a double. That brings this clock down at just 13 seconds. One lost hurrah for Galoris.
8v6. This is going to probably come down to lives, but for it come down to lives for the side of Galoris, you need to extend this time. Clove finds one, scared alongside of him. Pressure over towards this A side has to work out for them. The invest here. The United is out for Lukashin. He finds 2. 4 versus 3 in the favor of Galoris. Now the gunfight's still continuing. It's 0 seconds on the clock though. You need to continue to contest. It's so much investment from both two teams. But it will be Stalwart who find the round. Time just not on the side of Galoris there.
Yep, and that round could have gone very differently. Remember that 3 versus 2 earlier on from Galoris, right? That late hit from Clove that made sure that A was not captured by Galoris. If that was the case, we would have been looking at a very different control round to kick this one off, but Stalwart strike first. Now, on the offense, can they fare better? It's good. Getting aggressive here. Mihawk trying to play sneaky. How much can he find? There's a nice double from Mihawk, and now wants to follow up with more. Surely not 80 as well. Gets enough shots so that Henry Cat's going to be able to finish off that gunfight. So Galoris looking solid at the start of this defensive control round, and I think solid enough. They're starting to push players in towards the defensive line.
Oh, they're putting so much pressure down. It's actually going to be equalizers into the base, but falling down. As they went for the spawn kill there. Didn't work out for them. But they have put that pressure on. They have so much map presence now. Real estate behind them is significant. Stalwart Esports do not have too much room to maneuver. FTX will find one, Foki on another, as they just try to pick apart the defenses here of Galoris because they are set up deep inside that halfway point, but they've done just a little bit better than that. There's 2 kills apiece for Scared, and one of the other players on the side of Stalwart, and all of a sudden you can get some control over towards A. You start to put the pressure onto B as well. A 2-point attack from Stalwart Esports. How will it play out?
Yeah, Galoris is fitting on towards that one as well. They had to make sure they took the player off B before getting towards A, and now you're at a disadvantage here. You're going down the choke point, and it's a problem. Shut up and Skirt there. They're winning those gunfights. By the time this flanking play comes through from Mihawk, this point is going to be done. And so I think that kind of flanking play transforms in towards a spawn trap play, but now you need to get the kills for Mihawk to be effective.
Playing on his own. Here comes the Predator missile. Did they choose to possibly deal with something on the other side? They don't find much with it. Club will find Hen. So all this time that he sits back there, Mihawk is completely useless until the rest of his team can start to find some kills. And this is sometimes where it becomes a little bit of a risky play. Lukashin will, of course, find one of those kills. Clove will be sent to the Shadow Realm and also to the spawn trap. Mihawk will find the first. He has a hold of the core to do it. He will cause so much of a problem there. FTX on the other side of things, you can see so much pressure being put on both spawns from both teams. And it's about who just does it that little bit better. Claws are out on both sides of things. The lives, though, are not in Galoris' favor. They are lambs to the slaughter from Shut-Up. 15 versus 3, and they've just done it that little bit better. Shut-Up goes crazy in the spawn, and that will be the game. Stalwart Esports are going to find themselves 2-0 to the good there, and that's purely just executing that little bit better onto the spawn traps. There is some skill in it, and Star Wars Esports showed it.
I've never seen a commitment like that to a spawn trap. I mean, you send one player with an operator, right? Sometimes you send an extra one. You don't send 3 players towards the spawn trap, and it's just such a problem for Gallerus, right? It's almost unbreakable in a way, especially when probably the most proficient operator you could have for that spawn trap is in play for Stalwart. Shut up with the claw. Stalwart, just one control round away now from booking a place in bracket play. Can they get it done? They've got so much utility. The Predator missile coming out right from the rip as well. You don't just find a kill, but you get a wealth of information.
Oh, and that's really the problem for Gallerus. That has continued to show sometimes against these high-level teams in the control gameplay. When you do have that really, really bad round, you're then immediately at a disadvantage for the final one. Or what could be the final one anyway. Start to invest too much into this and don't win it. All of a sudden, Gallerus, you're back into it yourselves, but you are stuck in your spawn. You are not in a good position. Stalwart Esports running away with this control right now. What's been a hell of a series, but they are putting Gallerus to bed right now.
Yep, 8 life differential and growing. Gallerus need to find a way to break out of this prison that Stalwart have created for them. Good read that Shadup was going to be sat in that corner at least, so some promise here in Gallerus' efforts to get out, but there's not a lot of time to make this one happen. 25 seconds on the clock here. Close with the equalizer. Wants to bring the pain to Gallerus. Will pick up a couple of kills, and even that is damning at this point. This flank from Henry Cat needs to work. You cannot get caught. The read is good, but the kill is not. Shadup down for the count. Gallerus lifing them yet.
He got spotted on the flank, so he knows this player coming in behind it. Henry Cat is just trying to do this all on his own. He is truly all on his own. 7 seconds to go. Gallerus cannot get anywhere near the point, and Stalwart Esports have really shown their pedigree here. They will advance to the bracket play in a dominating control up against Gallerus. Big
respawn goal. They're able to control in that spawn. I can't believe what we just saw from Stalwart.
I mean, they definitely look like they figured out what they needed to heading into this event here today, at least for this Swiss stage of the bracket. I do want to say, though, that Gallerus have at least really nailed down their S&D.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's great, but, like, I don't believe they won. They maybe won 1 hard point out of the now 4 games that they've played. And when you are in a Swiss bracket with the best out of 3, you can't afford to... I mean, I was about to say you can't afford to have 1 dud mode, but at the same time, when you've been so good at Search and Destroy, you kind of can, but it's difficult. Like, you're kind of just guaranteeing yourselves then going in